What's up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the top 5 fragrances for men. So this is pretty much like a video for people that aren't really into fragrances. You just want a manly smelling fragrance that's not too generic. Or maybe you're a man that doesn't have any of these in your collection, so you're maybe looking into that right now. I know there was a phase that I started looking into more of like traditional masculine scents compared to what I had before. But let's go ahead and get started. So starting off with a fragrance that pretty much inspired this video just because the person kept on saying that this fragrance was fake. It's going to be my Guerlain Vetiver Parfum. So Guerlain Vetiver Parfum, it's going to be similar to Roja's Vetiver Parfum, but this one in my opinion is way better. This is pretty much a vetiver. If you don't love vetiver, it's creamy, kind of barbershoppy. Really nice fragrance, a little bit of sweetness, but not too much. I'm not the biggest fan of sweet fragrances, but the sweetness comes from like this creaminess that's in this fragrance. But yeah, it's one that I've made a pretty big dent in it. I have a pretty big collection, but for this Guerlain, this 3.4 ounce bottle, I have this kind of a dent in it. It says a lot about the fragrance, so I might even wear it today. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave it aside because I haven't worn anything today. I'm about to head out for the day. This might be the scent of the day today. But next will be a little bit more of an expensive fragrance. It's going to be Chanel Sycomore. So this is going to be in your really traditional fragrance, but it's done really nicely. Smelling this one out in the air definitely impressed me. It's been a while since I've worn it, since I brought it to my one of my work trips. So I was almost wearing it every day, or trying not to wear it every day. Again, has that fresh, spicy creaminess from like a shaving foam. This one's also a really good fragrance. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but this is a 75 ml bottle from Chanel. And the only place you could buy this one is Chanel or like any of those higher end stores. But you can't find this one on discounters, unfortunately. It is a really good one. But yeah, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 300, somewhere around there. I'm not too sure. But yeah, that's going to be Chanel Sycomore. It's going to remind you of Spice and Woods from Creed. I just have another Creed fragrance in this list, so I don't want to mention Creed Spice and Woods. But I think Creed Spice and Woods is a little bit more expensive for the same 75 ml. So then we're going to go ahead with one of my recent pickups. It's going to be Roja's Apex Eau Intense. This is going to be an all year rounder. I mean, these all are, but this one is fresh, spicy, and like the fresh spiciness doesn't really go away. And I think fresh spicy is the best way to describe this fragrance. Fresh, spicy, aromatic. This one doesn't have that creaminess of the barbershop notes. I'm not even sure what's exactly in this fragrance. But yeah, just fresh, spicy is definitely what you get when you're going to smell this fragrance. You don't really get too much of the citrus, if there is any citrus in here. You know what? Just for the video, I'll go ahead and pull up the notes real quick. All right, so the top notes are Helvetilide, mint, chlorophyll, lemon, bergamot, sage, mandarin, lavender. Middle notes are rose oxide, pomelo. Base notes are ambroxan, velvione, pepper, patchouli, cedar, elemi, musk, cardamom, myrrh, sandalwood, drift, grass, cashmere wood, and violet leaf. Now, I said a lot of that, but a lot of it is synthetics, and it does smell a little bit more synthetic on the synthetic side. You don't really get much of anything. Especially even when I wore it, I didn't get any of that cedar wood, and then the dry down. Maybe you do get some of the pepper. Don't really get any of the musk. For me, this is a fragrance that stays spicy, fresh spicy the entire life of the fragrance. And then this one's going to be my favorite Creed. It's going to be Creed Viking. So Creed's Viking, people say it smells like Old Spice. I will never understand that. I do have old bottles of Old Spice. They're actually in a box here on the side that I have. pretty much vintage fragrances, and it's just like a Old Spice. I have a few Old Spice bottles from like the 1960s, 1950s, and they do not smell like this fragrance does. So the blasphemy when people say that, I don't know. I think it's just a thing that's said, and that's it. Some one person, it could have been maybe like a popular fragrance YouTuber that said that, and everybody went along with it. I don't get that at all. And that's me, that I've smelled the new formulation of the Old Spice, which I made an old video of. And then I have another video of the very old formulation of Old Spice. This does not smell like Old Spice. What you get here is barbershop, pretty much like pink pepper, peppermint, shaving foam. Think about like a luxurious shaving cream is what it is. And to me, that's really what I look for in my fragrances. I want especially my masculine fragrances, a fragrance that smells kind of like shaving cream, but like super luxurious, more last longer, and all that fun stuff. So this is a really nice fragrance. It's been my favorite Creed for a long time now. It was a blind buy. I never even looked into it when I first bought it, and it was like years ago. I think it was like 2019 or 20, one of those years. It was like 2019 or something. But never looked into the notes. I only knew the House of Creed from Aventus, and I wasn't even into fragrances at the time or fragrance content. I just got a Aventus bottle not long before. And then I saw this one on their website, and I just went ahead and bought it. And I think this is like my third or fourth bottle at this point. And I can't live without it. If I ever find out it's being discontinued, I'm getting the entire flagon, and I'm getting more bottles of this, because this is the fragrance I will never be living without. There's not even a fragrance that comes close to how this smells. I've never smelled a fragrance that smells this way. And nothing's come close to this fragrance. So sure, I have these other ones, but this is one of the most unique ones that I have in my collection as well. Nothing smells like it, in my opinion. I haven't smelled anything. I've been looking for fragrances that smell like this, but I can't. So that's going to be at the number 4, or it doesn't even matter. This is not really counted or in order. And then the last one I have is Jubilation 40. I picked Jubilation 40. I do have Jubilation 25, just because I believe Jubilation 40 might be the easier wear if you're not really into fragrances. So it's a little bit more smooth. The opening, they both have the same opening from Jubilation 25 to Jubilation 40. Jubilation's 40's opening does stick around longer, but it's a little bit smoother, maybe a little bit not as screechy. Not that Jubilation 25 is screechy, but you realize it once you go to the 40, there is a little bit less of that screechiness. And that makes it sound like Jubilation 25 is screechy, but it's not at all. But there's just a smoother DNA or more smoother scent when you come into Jubilation 40. So I'll just go ahead and recommend getting Jubilation 40. But budget-wise, if you're not going to spend the money on Jubilation 40, I would also highly recommend Jubilation 25. Jubilation 25 is still my favorite Amouage. So nothing against Jubilation 25 at all. Jubilation 40 to me is just the one that's a little bit smoother, easier to wear, compared to Jubilation 25. So these are the 5 masculine scents, 5 of the best fragrances for men. Let me know which fragrances in your collection you recommend. Which fragrances are you interested in picking up? That is all I have for you guys today. Please leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a good one, guys.